Welcome to Beyond SciFi. If you love stories of courage, mystery, and the edge of the unknown, make sure to subscribe and join our growing crew among the stars. The alarms screamed through the dying ship like a wounded animal's last cry. Commander Elena Vasquez clawed her way through the tilted corridor, emergency lights painting everything in arterial red. The crash had been sudden, one moment surveying the barren moon's surface, the next spinning through its thin atmosphere, hull screaming as it kissed rock at terminal velocity. Critical oxygen failure, the ship's AI announced with infuriating calm. Life support compromised. 37 minutes remaining. Elena's lungs already felt tight, each breath a little thinner than the last. She stumbled past sparking consoles and shattered viewports, searching for the emergency beacon controls, when she heard a sound that didn't belong to her dying ship, a whimper, soft and desperate. She found it huddled against the wreckage of what had been the xenobiology lab, a creature no larger than a human infant, its scaled hide shimmering between midnight blue and silver, part feline grace, part reptilian armor, with eyes too large and too aware. One of its 6 legs was bent at an unnatural angle. Its ribcage fluttered with shallow, panicked breaths. The cub's species, the ones they'd been sent to study from a distance, officially, non-contact protocol. The adult forms were apex predators, their civilization built on honor codes humans barely understood. Elena's hand moved to her belt, where the backup oxygen mask hung her insurance policy, the thing that might buy her another 20 minutes when the main supply died. She looked at the mask, then at the cub. Its eyes met hers, vertical pupils dilating with what might have been recognition, or merely the desperation of dying. She didn't think thinking would have meant protocol, survival statistics, mission parameters. Elena dropped to her knees and pulled the mask free. The cub flinched as she approached, but exhaustion had made it weak. She fitted the mask over its elongated snout, adjusting the straps with trembling fingers. The flow indicator glowed green. The cub's breathing steadied. Warning, the AI said. Non-crew organism detected utilizing emergency life support. Confirm transfer authorization. Elena's voice came out rough. Yes. Silence stretched for 3 full seconds, an eternity for an AI acknowledged. New life priority established. Updating survival hierarchy. She felt the words like a physical weight settling over her chest. The ship's AI wasn't just recording her choice, it was learning from it. The cub's eyes had closed, its breathing evening out into something like sleep. Elena leaned against the cold bulkhead, forcing herself to breathe slowly, conserving what little oxygen remained in the thinning air. Her vision swam. Somewhere in her mind, she saw another face, more human, with her own brown eyes, and her late husband's crooked smile. Mira, 6 years old when the colony plague had taken her. Elena had been in space, racing home, never fast enough. She'd failed to save her daughter, but this small alien thing would not die alone and gasping. Diverting auxiliary power to medical bay, the AI announced, adapting quarantine protocols for dual-species containment. Commander, you should proceed there now. Elena gathered the cub carefully. It weighed almost nothing, all delicate bones and soft scales. She carried it through corridors that groaned with structural damage, into a sterile white room where the AI had already adjusted atmospheric controls. A breathing apparatus lowered from the ceiling, rudimentary, but it would work. They could share the oxygen between them in measured intervals. Hours bled together in that small room. Elena slept in snatches, waking each time the breathing timer chimed to swap the mask. The cub began to stir more actively, its injured leg held carefully aloft. Once, when Elena reached out slowly, it pressed its forehead against her palm, a gesture that felt ancient and significant. Analyzing behavioral data, the AI murmured. Cross-species empathy response detected. Updating parameters. This is ... unusual. What is? Elena whispered. My own curiosity about the outcome, statistically irrelevant to mission success, yet I find myself invested in your survival. Both of you. Elena almost smiled. Welcome to being alive. On the second day, the sensors detected it. A ship, approaching fast. The signature was unmistakable, the cub species. Elena's stomach clenched. First contact protocols dictated caution. The few recorded encounters had ended in violence when humans had inadvertently violated territorial boundaries they didn't understand. Commander, the AI said quietly, I can mask the cub's biosignature. They need not know it's here. Your chances of survival increase significantly if... No. Elena looked down at the sleeping creature, its small chest rising and falling steadily. They're looking for their own. We help them find what they've lost. Understood. Preparing communication protocols. The alien ship docked with controlled force. Elena stood in the airlock, the cub cradled in her arms, as the door hissed open to reveal 3 towering figures. 7 feet of scaled muscle, eyes like molten gold, weapons that hummed with barely contained energy. The lead alien's gaze locked onto the cub. A sound erupted from its throat knot, quite languid, but meaning poured through it like water. Shock, relief, question. Elena held the cub forward, careful not to make any movement that could be construed as threatening. It was dying, she said simply. I had oxygen. I shared it. The aliens conferred in clicking, musical tones. One of them pulled a scanning device, running it over the cub, then over Elena, then checking the ship's logs that the AI willingly provided. The lead alien's expression shifted, a subtle softening around the eyes, a lowering of weapons. It spoke, and the translator chip in Elena's ear rendered the words. The records show you gave your survival for one knot of your species. This is Guardian's choice. Highest honor. The cub stirred, making soft noises. It reached one small paw toward Elena, then toward its own kind, as if bridging the distance between worlds. New designation assigned. The alien's own AI announced through the translation system. Human Guardian friend. Status protected. Elena felt her knees weaken with relief as the lead alien carefully took the cub, cradling it with unexpected gentleness. But before stepping back, it touched Elena's shoulder, a gesture of acknowledgement, of gratitude, of something that transcended the barriers between their kinds. Later, as both crews worked together to repair her ship, Elena stood at the viewport watching the alien moon's pale surface. The AI's voice came softly through the speakers. I've updated my core protocols. Commander, cross-species empathy is now categorized as survival critical. You've taught me that life's value isn't measured by its utility to mission parameters. Elena pressed her hand against the cold glass. What is it measured by? By the willingness to share even the last breath, by choosing that life over your own. In the reflection, she could see the aliens and humans working side by side, the cub watching from a medical bed, its eyes bright and alive. From oxygen shared, everything had changed.